You ever get the feeling your dreams are trying to tell you something?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Corners, episode 7 of season. Oh wait, episode 7 was last week. Episode 8 of season 6. I'm your host, Hope the 93, always in the place to be. How you guys are doing out there? Hope everybody had a good weekend on their part. Really do. And mind that, don't mind that playback. There we go. And yes, I see the first comment by Travis Tippins. And yes, I would like to say that this episode is in the memory of Mr. Fuji. I think it was Sunday. I could be wrong. It was either Sunday or Saturday. We lost Mr. Fuji at the age of 82. Once again, man, 2016 has not, and I repeat, has not been a good year for legends, and not just in wrestling. Not just in wrestling, just in general. It just has not been a good year for legends out there. It's just been Prince, Lemmy. We just lost Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder. Played Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory movie. Natalie Cole, I believe, was the day after New Year's, I believe, when she passed, or was the day of New Year's morning she passed away. It's just been nice. It just has not been a good year for legends. I'm just gonna look up to confirm Mr. Fuji's passing. Yep, Sunday, August 28th. His real name was Harry Fujiwara. If you wonder, was Fujiwara where name from the Fujiwara, armbar came from. But yeah, so this episode of The Corner is in the memory of the late Mr. Fuji. Well, where do I begin? With this corner. Once again, this corner is all about last night's Raw, which was a pretty darn good Raw. I believe if you can see in the description, like I put, it definitely did deliver. Even though there were some things that did not really care too much about, even though they were kind of laughably bad. Let me just kind of get into laughably bad. We had another chapter into the Darren Young, basically the primetime players feud. This time was Darren Young and Titus O'Neil had a match, which was mostly dominated by Titus O'Neil, and that just led to a crucifix pin and one of the slowest counts that you ever see. There's a point that it may look embarrassing that Titus O'Neil could not kick out, and then led to a post-down beatdown, which was really funny as hell, because after Titus O'Neil knocked down Darren Young, he kicked Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund fell. When he fell, Bob Backlund fell almost like he went and just stared up like, oh no, I think I pooped my pants. It was like, and once again, clash of the Titus on Darren. Look, I have to agree with my friend Nate. I understand it's 3 hours and you gotta fill time. What the hell?
And I have been granted a license to compete here tonight. But they tell me in the back that there is no one here who wants to get in this ring.
Who in the hell is this?
So I'm telling each and every one of you now, I'm not leaving this ring.
Did he just say he was a milkman?
Let's do that. It's a milkman. What the hell is this guy?
Who is
What
this?
he doing in the ring?
How did he get in the ring?
Somebody get security. Get this moron out of here. He's got a license to compete, and he wants to compete here on SmackDown. He has a license to take off his shirt. It's a show that offers opportunities, John. His body looks like a milkman's.
If his freaking tight, what is this guy doing? Oh, if he's wearing white, he might shit pants. Who the hell is this? I'm a milkman. Just who in the hell? Why, it actually had a hometown for Kane. That's the first time that's ever been done. Knoxville, Tennessee. If I'm not mistaken, Kane, I think he still is running for office in Tennessee. What is this guy doing?
No milk tomorrow. Milk Kane gives him a legend. This couple weeks might not be very much longer as Kane sets him up. Why do we wear white underwear? Kane just treated Gary Millman like his name was Abel. I don't know about milk, baby. Probably to change his nickname to skid marks after that.
That was but yeah, I'm talking about, I understand it's 3 hours. I understand that, with the brand split, it's to give some people that usually would not get, time to get that spotlight. But in my opinion, this Darren Young and Tyler O'Neill thing, it's just been laughably bad. It just has been laughably bad. I don't think it's gonna do any of them any real benefit. I really don't. The Raw opened up with hey. That could be a hint to something right there. Baron Corbin and Kane crossing paths. But Raw opened up with kind of like a sit-down interview with all 4 members of the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal Championship that would come later in the show. And of course, with these with scenarios like this, with situations like this, or segments like this, it ended up in a brawl, which ended with Roman Reigns on top, in the ring, next to the belt.
That's good roll that you're on right now, AJ. I don't even think anybody needs softening up. You know what? You're right. You're right.
Here comes Dean. Hey, back to the gray. So then I believe. No. There's some things I want to kind of give the highlights of Raw. It was nice to see Bayley, interacting with New Day. Some really fun stuff right there. It led to them getting a win over Gallows, Anderson, and Dana Brooke. One thing that I want to point out is that before that match, Charlotte was there for commentary for that match, and they showed us, I guess, during the Raw pre-show of an interview with Sasha about her medical update, and when she had words to say about Charlotte, she was talking about how Charlotte's a coward. Because of Flair and because of Dana, and she's a coward for trying to injure me. And immediately after, Charlotte, the only thing she had to say, well, I don't know, I'm a coward if Dana or my dad weren't there. And I had to agree with Charlotte. I just kind of found it confusing that Sasha was basically putting outside factors that had no involvement, that were not instrumental to the match, which comes across heelish, and heels do that. It reminds me of, I remember there was a time when Natalya, she was like in a program with AJ when AJ was Divas champ. And when Natalya was on commentary and Michael Cole was asking her about, your match against AJ, and Natalya just kept saying over and over, well, she cheated. She cheated to beat me. I'm thinking, Natalya, AJ beat you fair and square. So it's one of those situations where, when I hear Sasha, it makes me wonder, like, does she still kind of have, when it comes to promos, of the mindset of a heel? That's heel like to bring outside factor that had nothing to do with the match as to why you lost. It was just something that I found odd. Ow. You're an AJ. Come up, Corey. Right. There's some other stuff. I wonder. Neville and Jericho had a good match. They always have good matches. Unfortunately, Neville, ended up losing the match, so that's 2 straight losses for Neville. He wasn't able to avenge, Jericho getting involved in his match against Owens the other week. And you can see like the disappointment in Neville's face. So hopefully, next week if Neville's on there, he's able to get a victory. I don't like to really see Neville, lose almost repeatedly. But I'm not going to jump the guns at all. They're burying Neville. Also, Sami Zayn got a win over Jinder Mahal. I think this was Jinder Mahal's first match on Raw since gaining a contract. And man, oh man, when it came time for the Haluva kick, man, did Sami knock the freaking curry off this man. You heard pop. I want to believe that was just Sami Zayn slapping his thigh, at the right time. But that sounded too like almost like hollow. Like if you was like clock on your clock. It sounded too much of that for him to be slapping his leg for the Haluva kick. Like if you had not seen it, Raw, WWE must put on a YouTube like the ending of the match. Until they probably just have the clip of the Sami Zayn Jinder Mahal match. Look that up. If you've not seen it, man, he knocked the hell out of Jinder Mahal. Nia Jax got another squash victory. But we kind of just combined Nia Jax and Braun Strowman both continued their streak of squash matches, squash victories. Even though Nia Jax, whoever her new finisher is called, they haven't said that there's a name for it. I don't believe that fireman carry into the World's Strongest Slam. It was kind of a botched version because she didn't really get, what was her opponent's name? Haya was able to get her really over. It was like, yeah. And then Braun Strowman beat up some jobber that looked like Max Mooney. And I believe even ripped off his mask. So, yeah, they're continuing their squash victories. I predict, because most of my friends in the chat room were saying, when is Nia Jax going to finally get a feel? I'm thinking, with as small as both divisions are on the respective brands, I don't really see her feuding with anybody. She's not going to be feuding with Bayley at this moment because Bayley, she's feuding with Bayley before NXT, but Bayley is on the path of going against Charlotte. The only person I can really see her maybe feuding with when they come back is probably Sasha, for Sasha to do something. If they don't try to just integrate Sasha, but then again, Sasha will, then again, Sasha will be having automatic, of course, automatic and also contractual rematch clause. So probably it'll be a triple threat match. But if that's not the case, then I could see Sasha and Nia feuding. And if not that, then maybe maybe Nia and Paige. But I do predict that Nia's first named opponent will probably be Alicia Fox. Don't think it's going to be a competitive match, but it might not be a squash. It might be like a semi-squash with Natalia. Natalia, where Alicia kind of gets some offense, like some believable offense, like actually look like okay, it's actually hurting Nia. Oh, look at some comments here. John, hey man, KO-MANIA is running wild. Yeah, it is. I'm about to get to that. John, what do you think of the Miz's rant on Talk Smack? Yeah, I didn't really get a chance. Yeah, I didn't say I really didn't get a chance. I didn't. There we go. Oh. Man, you didn't really need the scout. You see him doing that right in front of his face. Okay. I didn't get a chance to talk about Talking Smack, with the Miz. I didn't even watch Talking Smack that week. I have yet to watch a whole Talking Smack. I should start getting into it since most every week people are saying it's good to watch. So it kind of has like a off script feel to it. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk about Mizman because when I was doing I did the corner that week, it was during SmackDown. Look, Miz's rant on Talking Smack. His rant. I know a lot of people have been praising it, saying it's the best promo he ever cut, and I will agree that because it was the most passion that he ever showed in any of his promos, actual legit built up passion. And basically it was all because Brian basically said that he wrestled like a cow, he wrestled soft. And Miz went on, talking about how I'm able to wrestle because I'm able to wrestle for 10 years because because of the way I wrestle. I'm not out for 6 months to a year. Okay, he does have a point. No, he does have a point. And one thing I did not like, and I could tell that thing was supposed to be a work shoot. What? Oh man, what I did not like about that is that it ended with Brian walking away. And I'm just thinking, Brian, he shouldn't be walking away. But and then I started talking with friends about it. I'm like, okay, then if that's the case, then what Smack, what Miz need to do, then they probably need to drop the whole Hollywood, the whole Hollywood gimmick. If he wants to be taken it's supposed to be him being taken seriously right off the bat. But it was just so funny, Oh, it was just so funny that Miz trying to come at Brian, talking about Brian's a coward because he didn't fulfill his promise of regaining the IC belt after relinquishing when he got hurt. And that's when Brian they said if they would let me, I would come back, which was true because the word is that Brian had been cleared by 2 doctors, but WWE would not clear him, which is why when he retired, a lot of people thought it was just for him to get out of his WWE contract where he can wrestle elsewhere. Oh, but it's just so funny that Miz is the last person that should be trying to how can I put it, roast somebody when there's so many stuff to roast on the Miz about. One, Evan Bourne, and I bet the other said, He can't really catch well. He's not good at catching people when they're doing aerial moves. So he does run the risk of getting people hurt by not being able to catch well. You know, you want to go back in the past like he did with Brian. Okay, when he was on the real world, you know, he came across as, you know, every time he came across cool, but then most of the time he came across the dumbest guy in the room. And once again, oh, the D6. You know, once again, I'm maybe not the biggest Miz fan, but one thing I will give credit is due. The guy did start at the bottom. He worked his way up. But do I feel that he's a chief worldweight champion? No. You know, I think he fits right there. He fits well with being, you know, an mid-card, you know, heel. Heck, I was going to say that Miz is almost the equivalent of Jeff Jarrett. Oh. 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 I was about to say about the one with the lunatic elbow. Oh, it's AJ. Oh. 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 There comes Corbin. Watch out. Oh my God, Corbin. Corbin made that look so obvious. Oh. Soprano comeback match, AJ Styles. Styles, if you can, will be a guest on Talking Smack coming up on the WWE Network. Dean Ambrose's greatest asset, he's a survivor. Can he survive his backlash? Yeah, he just get down. For watching SmackDown Live, good night from Dallas. And now, the USA Original Series, Chrisley Knows Best on USA. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts on, and then also my thoughts on the whole Miz thing. Also, you know, they tried to capitalize on it tonight, and he just contradicted himself by looking like a coward. Look at some comments. Travis Nia Jax's theme is weird. I don't think her theme is necessarily weird. I remember back, I was one to say that it came across as a face theme. But then when you listen more to it, you hear like the beat and everything, I mean, it is true. She's not like most girls, you hear the lyrics, because that's what she was saying even in her video packages, that she's not like most girls. Um, I think like most girls, they take like what they're given, and so yeah, I don't think necessarily her theme is weird. John Braun song needs to change. I don't know, because I get like laugh every time. I'm like, John, I heard we may see Shane versus Brock at the Rumble. I don't know when we're gonna get it. I don't know where you have heard that from. Not discounting that you had heard that. I don't know where we're getting that match, but I think we can best believe that we are getting that match. And I hope that it's kind of sooner rather than later. Probably I don't want to be at Mania. And you know what? Let me talk about Shane versus Brock. Let me talk about that and give my opinion on that. I don't want to see Shane versus Brock. Why? Because first off, if all these other guys really couldn't get past Brock, Cena after if you take away Extreme Rules, when he beat Brock when Brock came back, he hasn't gotten through Brock. He lost him at SummerSlam. Didn't even get a chance to beat him at that chance because Seth Rollins got involved. But then in the end, he was laid down by F5. So if Cena wasn't even able to take the belt back from Brock, and Rollins would have lost his belt if Undertaker didn't come, and Undertaker really got a win off of Brock because some BS screw job. But then he lost a Hell in a Cell, and Dean didn't beat him. It just makes me hard. It makes me harder to believe that Shane O'Mac, is going to beat the Beast. Yeah, I can believe that they will add some no disqualification stipulation for Shane for Shane can be able to do, the coast to coast or the leap of, well, he can do a leap of faith, even a regular contested match. Where I know the leap of faith to try to give him some chance of some hope of victory. But I don't need to see Shane getting German suplexed, like 13 times, get a little little punches, and then but then get cut off by Brock, then it get German again, then maybe get the coast to coast or the leap of faith. Yeah, man, gets Brock back in the ring, gives the leap of faith. F5, 1, 2, 3, Brock wins. It is to the point. Before I even go there, it's to the point. I don't need to see that. If anybody else wants it, hey, but I think we can. For me, it's just hard for me to believe that. Okay, we're going into Shane don't even have a chance. It doesn't need to happen. It does not, but it can do it. It's going to happen after that ending of SummerSlam. But it's to the point. It's to the point. After SummerSlam 2016, not SummerSlam 2014, you could predict a Brock Lesnar match. You can plan it out from point A to all the way to point Z. You can plan out how it's going to go. And I still feel that if Brock was doing those suplexes, and I should say the German, should be like German City, because he only really does a German suplex. He maybe does like one belly to belly. If he was on the schedule on a weekly basis, I have a feeling, in my opinion, that would immediately, the crowd would immediately start, resenting it. But once again, since he's not on a weekly basis, it doesn't really get that chance to feel like, oh, it's dry. But I'm already kind of bored of it at times. I'm already bored of it. And it's more the fact because I know the guy can do more. You know, I was just watching highlights of SummerSlam 2013 with his great match with CM Punk, which was a match of the year candidate. And I'm seeing him doing backbreakers and fall away slams and power bomb. I'm like, but yet this guy just only he wants to do is just German people. It's to the point where I feel that I'm just waiting for them to start building somebody up to just beat Brock Lesnar. That's all. That would be new. You just start slowly seeing somebody being built up, and they get enough credibility where when they go against Brock, it's like, okay, this person's been on a roll, and maybe this guy can do it. That's all I'm waiting for. That is all I'm waiting for. Hey, it's Invictus. Ambrose looks ridiculous with his phony wild punches. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not mistaken, you know, I'm not mistaken. No, man, hold up. Like, hold up. That's Dashy was saying. No, hold up. Like, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, Victor, I believe you for let me do Ric Flair years. You for years. If I'm not mistaken, if you guys can even go back to like corners back like in the Shield days, if I'm not mistaken, Victus, you have been always that critic of Dean Ambrose's punches, especially during the time when Dean used to have somebody against the ropes and he'll and just like, yeah, look, as much as I'm a fan of Dean, there are some criticisms I have him, and that is one. I know he's gonna be the lunatic fringe, but yeah, sometimes his wild punches, man, they do look pretty phoned in. No, they look kind of phony. And I'm not saying he needs to be busting somebody's eardrum, but there's actually a form thread. And the topic is the person basically they're talking about. Their topic is that they feel that Dean Ambrose's offense is not believable. That for a guy who is supposed to be this lunatic fringe and this gritty character, most of his offense doesn't look like it really hurts. Like it really don't have like a ooh feel to it, I guess, except for his lariat. And let me touch on the lariat. I am starting to see why my friend, Blue Goblin, and even my brother, are starting to resent the whole pendulum lariat of Dean Ambrose, especially lately when what leads up to it has kind of been like, how did that knock him all the way back? Like for instance, when it was Dean and Dolph, this was during the build-up of SummerSlam, so it was not too long ago. It was Dean and Dolph going against Bray and Rowan. And Bray, I think he escaped the dirty deeds or a front face. Like the only thing he did was like a little like shot to the throat. Just went ugh. And Dean stumbles all the way back, and it's like, I know that thing did not really hit you that hard. Then it got even worse at SummerSlam when he went against Dolph. And the only thing Dolph did was slap him in the face. Just went, ugh. And Dean, oh no, I forgot to catch myself and blah. It's like, what? Now here's the thing. When he originally started doing that clothesline, what would the lead up to it would be believable. Like I remember him and Seth. I think like Seth like kneed him, like did a running knee to him, and he stumbled back. And that's another thing. When Dean used to do it, when he first started doing it, it really looked like, yeah, he made it believable enough that, yeah, like he was stumbling back and like he just realized, oh, shoot the ropes here. Let me catch myself. And I think it's one of those situations where I think a move like that, when when a move like that is done over and over, I think after a while it can start becoming like contrived or like not but real. It's like, okay, you're trying to tell me in every match this person is going to get hit to the point where they're going to stumble all the way across the ring and then catch themselves. Same thing like for Cena's comeback. It's like everybody throws a punch or a clothesline at this guy. Can like somebody at least, maybe throw a kick or something? He maybe catches it, and yeah. It's like there's certain moves in wrestling, that, it's like, especially they're supposed to be like a camera, like, who is somebody? In a way now with the Revival, I think it's Dash, or is it Dawson? I gotta see. So I'm not gonna lie. There are times where I actually do not. I know you're Dash and Dawson, but I'm like, okay, which one is which? Let me just make sure. All right, it's Dawson. Dawson is the bald-headed one. He paid homage. I'm starting to see him pay homage to Arn Anderson by doing the fake the punch. The person ducks, and then he DTs him, which is cool. But it's like every match is like now it's coming. I think every big match now he does. I watched Takeover, and I was there. He did it. And I was like, oh, but I'm like now I start thinking like, no, that's another move that's like everybody does the same thing. Like everybody, like I'm trying to think of another move. That's just like, okay. And there's other moves out there. There are other moves. There are other moves that they become contrived because like a certain like sequence that's like, wait a minute, like everybody goes that route. I think I got another one. Yeah, maybe they'll come to me later on. John, AJ will take that belt off of Dean at Backlash. I'm hoping, as much as I like Dean, but AJ's been so much of a road that I don't see why not have him beat Dean at Backlash. John, I wanted to see Brock versus Angle at Mania. I'm a little bit mixed on that because you're pushing this new era. That's not new. Brock versus Angle. However, one can counter saying, well, it would be new to see this Brock go against Angle. More of this conqueror Brock, who just came, who uses MMA, skills. Because when they first went against, when they had their great feud in 2003, Brock was just, freestyle, wrestling. Travis, Eva Marie sucks. Well, that's like, that's preaching to the choir. Travis, John, who do you want to see win the SmackDown Women's Championship? I want Becky to win. There you go. That's what I want to win. I want Becky to win. And Victor's true. I'm believing that was towards me saying that you know, you've always been a critic of, you know, Ambrose's punches, or it could be in response to John. John American Alpha will win the tag title. I believe they will, but now there's a part of me that you never know. You know, this Heath thing, if this really starts, you know, catching some traction, which it kind of is, the fans are really wanting to see Heath. You know, maybe he gets that underdogs that they want to see. You never know. Maybe something will happen. Maybe it's gonna be like, you know, Rhino and him, they just win the belts for Heath can get his contract, but then like they immediately like loses it. They lose it to American Alpha. John, rest in peace, Mr. Fuji, and it was not the powder, it was the salt. It was the salt, John. The salt, not Johnson and Johnson. I'm trying to think. I think of some other like moves that are kind of like contrived. If you guys like know any like moves that have to do like with a sequence, like person gotta do this, don't yeah, you know, drop it in the comment section. I believe there are other moves. There are other moves that come across like contrived. If one would say, oh no, now that Sasha does that knee counter to the kick, I wouldn't necessarily say that's contrived because okay, she can kind of do that any point in the match. Like if somebody try to kick her and she catches it, she can just do it. But it's always during like her comeback. Then that's when I can understand. Yeah, it does come contrived. Like every time she makes a comeback, somebody's trying to kick her. John, who do you want KO to face for his title match? All right, yeah, let's get back to, you know, the Raw recap. Let's get back to that. Let's certainly get back to that. The main event for the Universal Championship. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns versus Big Cass versus Seth Rollins. Elimination style. So there was no excuses. There were no excuses. That's one thing I like about elimination style. There's no excuses because most time in standard triple threats or fatal four-way, especially if it's for the title and the champion doesn't get pinned, you're always gonna get, well, I never got pinned, so that loss does not really count for me. You know, there weren't any champions in this, but still, no excuses. One thing that I was looking forward to coming into this match was Cass's performance. Was I expecting Cass to win, even though he was the dark horse? No. But if you guys don't know, you know, if you guys have not read or seen like articles or whatever of the fact that management see big things in Big Cass. They see money for this guy. They see him being a prominent, you know, guy, you know, as a solo act, which I always have mixed feelings about because at the same time that's great for Cass, but at the same time makes me wonder about Enzo. Like, are they just going to kick Enzo to the curb? But anyway, so this was like a kind of a test for him. You know, this was his first. It's like his first world title match. And so I was looking forward to his performance. I wasn't expecting him to win, but I was expecting, okay, this is a almost like a coming out party for him. And for the time that Cass was involved in the match, I think Cass handled himself very well. He booted the crap out of Roman Reigns twice. The first time they kicked him so hard that they sent both of them out the ring. And then he kicked Roman Reigns again, booted him the second time. Roman looked, out like a light. But unfortunately, after a Superman punch, what was it? Yeah, after a Superman punch, after a super kick, and then a frog splash from Kevin Owens. Super kick from Rollins and a frog splash bullfrog splash from Kevin Owens. Cass got eliminated. One could say that did a good job kind of protecting Cass, or just, making him come across that, okay, he didn't go, it had to, basically give him some credibility that he had to take, 3 big maneuvers to finally get him down for a 3 count. So then it was mostly a triple threat. But then again, it wasn't really mostly a triple threat right after Cass got. It mostly came down to Reigns and Rollins for a good portion. It was them like trading like near falls. You know, from Superman punches in midair, from Roman Reigns' schoolboy power bomb. And, we got a "This is awesome" chant. And then finally Kevin Owens got back in the match and then did the cannonball to both guys. And then when he tried to go for the Superman, not for the power, he got Superman punched. And then led to all of them going outside, Roman Reigns hitting a spear on Seth Rollins. And then this is where the interesting stuff really came in. Now the camera is to Roman Reigns' back. I'm thinking they're so close to his back. I'm like, okay, I've seen this camera, but most of the time that means somebody's coming from like the crowd. And yeah, and I'm hearing the crowd. I'm thinking, okay, somebody's coming. I'm thinking, okay, it's probably Rusev, probably to continue, their feud. But no. It was not Rusev. It was Triple H. Yes, Triple H returned and I can't believe he actually pedigreed Roman Reigns on the floor. Not that he pedigreed Roman Reigns, but that he did on the floor. Triple H's knees, they're not the most healthiest knees out there. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. He screws Roman Reigns, rolls Roman Reigns in the ring, and tells basically encourages Seth to get him. So Seth pins Roman Reigns to eliminate Roman Reigns. Once again, Triple H screws Roman. This time, a legit screw job, not like Royal Rumble. That wasn't a screw job. That didn't really get any heel heat on Triple H because, like I always said, when Roman Reigns beat up Triple H at TLC, Triple H didn't really do anything to initiate that big beatdown, as if like that was like built up frustration from Roman Reigns. Like he had been screwed for so long. He had been screwed by the League of Nations, not Triple H. So when Triple H did come back to Royal Rumble, it may seem as though Triple H was the good guy. He was coming back to avenge, getting his ass whipped for no reason by Roman Reigns. This time, however, no, this actually puts heel heat on Triple H, for even though fans cheered, we go, Roman Reigns not going to come champ. But in storyline, okay, it makes Triple H come across as the bad guy because he basically screwed Roman Reigns. Excuse me. And then it looks like Triple H is not done yet. That now he's going to screw Owens. Okay, he roasts Owens in the ring. And when he's lifting up Owens and Seth Rollins coming like, yeah. Triple H turns around, kicks him in the gut, pedigrees Seth Rollins, and the look on Owens' face sold it, where you knew Kevin Owens was not in cahoots. He was not in cahoots. No, he hesitated. But when you see, but then when it says snap back, no, snap back in reality. Oh shoot! I got a chance to become Universal Champion. Pins Seth Rollins, and we have our new Universal Champion and Kevin Owens. The prize fighter wins the big prize. Because the quote Kevin Owens, because that's what he did. He won the big prize. That's what he did. I predicted Owens would not just. I don't think I really predicted. I think I wanted Owens to win because that would have been. You're talking about this once again. You're talking about this new era, some things new. Well, Kevin Owens been riding with momentum. He's been a potent person on the program on the broadcast of WWE since he arrived. Even if you count NXT, but for my main roster, he's been a potent guy on the roster. So it's like, yeah. Kevin Owens, that would have been new. If you did it, we gave it to Seth Rollins, like, okay, but it's like, first of all, I felt Seth Rollins should have won it because I did not think that he should have been like almost rewarded so soon after, the whole situation with Finn. I think that kind of would have been a bad message that, okay, Rollins is involved again in some type of injury and he gets the belt right back. Once again, Roman would not have been new. The guy's already a 3-time champ, like within like 6 months or something. And once again, they wasn't expecting Kaz to win, but that would have been pretty crazy if they had Kaz win. That would have been like, whoa. But yeah, KO-MANIA is running wild, and the first things I thought of was, well, I guess that's a suck it to Russo, because if you guys don't know, Russo has been one of Kevin Owens' biggest critics, along with Jim Cornette. But Vince Russo, he's not gonna be a star. He can't be a star, and blah blah blah. And then we kind of go into, but I bet you, like I was telling my brother that, this is killing Russo. He's probably thinking, I can't believe that the WWE actually went with Kevin Owens as their Universal Champion. Bro, why would you think of such a thing? Bro, why? He's not a star. I've said it before. Bro, I've said it before. He's only going to be a star if you make him the son of Adrian Adonis, bro. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to making stars, bro. If it wasn't for me, there would be no Stone Cold Steve Austin. There would be no The Rock. I made them into stars, bro. So why would WWE think of putting the belt on Kevin Owens? I said it, but along with Sami Zayn, he's not a great wrestler. He's a great tumbler. I just cannot fathom, bro. Why would WWE do such a thing? I bet you that is what Vince Russo was saying while watching that. Now, even though Triple H shook Kevin Owens' hand and, raised his hand in victory, I still don't think that it's an alliance between them. I really think that was a situation when Triple H was in for himself. That, of course, he didn't want Roman Reigns to win, but he was done with Seth Rollins. That was basically, the nail in the coffin right there. That was the sign of the moment where, yep, he's done with Seth. He no longer sees him as the future. And it's plans to seed for that Seth Rollins Triple H match that mostly a lot of fans, including me, saw at one point. That, okay, that's probably going to be something in the future, Seth Rollins versus Triple H. And probably, I see John's comment. This is probably going to lead to that Seth face turn that some feel that should have been the case when he came back. He should have been an immediate. Came out riding with all that sympathy, momentum, and everything, and the fans, urging to see him return. Turned that into a face turn. But personally, I hope that it's not alliance between Triple H and Kevin Owens, because I'm getting tired of the last heels champions of WWE have had some type of have had some type of allegiance to the authority or to Triple H or Stephanie. Sheamus wasn't a authority member. There were several times where he was endorsed, by, the authority. Heck, even when Brock won the belt, he took that freaking picture with them. He wasn't like a full-fledged allegiance to them, but for a short period, yeah, he had their support just because of John Cena. Seth Rollins had their full support. So I really hope Kevin Owens, he's not, coming out alongside with Triple H, or Triple H is cutting a promo before Kevin Owens. Like Kevin Owens is like, it's almost taking not really a back seat, but it's like the focus is on Triple H, and then it goes to Kevin Owens. I would like for it to be Kevin Owens. He's already in something with Jericho. I would just like for it to just be Kevin Owens. Just let him, ride, by himself with this. Don't have it be overshadowed by an authority figure or a Triple H. Because already the big question is now, okay, the focus probably already on, okay, what's next for Triple H? Like, okay, this is leading to, another Roman Reigns Triple H match, or of course that Seth Rollins Triple H. So, to answer so the answer, you also answered, I think it was you, John. Yeah, the answer is, who do you want KO to face for his title match? How can I put? I think eventually, I think this will be inevitable. If he keeps it long enough, he's going to face Cesaro at one point. Because they have now stated that this best of 7 between Cesaro and Sheamus is for a future championship match. That's what it's for. And speaking of that, Sheamus won the second match. So I think eventually, I don't see Sheamus winning this. If I see it being Cesaro, I say go with Cesaro, then Sheamus. Right now, Cesaro has more. Come on. He has more. He has more uprise than Sheamus. Like he just has it. I mean, I'm not saying I dislike Sheamus, but it's just, it's just like, yo, go with Cesaro. Like just go with Cesaro. Like, don't like cheat us out of Cesaro again, man. I mean, it's like, come on. Like, how many times do you guys gotta do this with this guy? Hold on, guys. Checking something. So yeah, I mean, so I think, yeah, but to answer, as far as like who is gonna be his first defense, it could be Rollins because knowing Roman Reigns, he's probably gonna want Triple H's head, you know, like very quick, like because he did get this time he got legitimately screwed by the man. But you know, overall, I felt like I said at the top of the show, this Raw was pretty good. You know, you take away the fluff stuff, and really the fluff stuff was okay. The squash matches and when I say about the squash, that doesn't mean that like I mean they're not needed yet. For Nia and Braun, they are needed to build their dominant aura, but it's something that is slow burn. It's nothing like really like advancing. Like so you take away those, and you take away the dang Darren Young, Titus O'Neil stuff. Yeah, Raw was pretty good. Oh yeah, another thing that was interesting about Raw that me and Chris noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed it when you guys were watching Raw, but it was something that was really like kind of like irking me. Stephanie on more than one occasion kept saying, we're gonna have our first Universal Champion, and this is the first ever Universal Championship match. And I'm thinking, I want to believe she's just botching. She's just botching. Because I'm thinking, if she's not botching, if she's not botching and she's intentionally saying, yeah, first ever Universal, we're gonna have our first ever Universal Champion, our first ever Universal Championship match. I was saying to myself, yo, did SummerSlam not happen? Did Finn not beat Seth Rollins to win the Universal Championship? Did the guy pop his shoulder back into place for nothing? Are you guys already erased because Finn didn't hold the belt for more than 24 hours? He didn't really hold the belt, so that shouldn't count as a reign. Like I was just like puzzled. I was just like, well, like, yo, Stephanie does remember that Finn became Universal Champion first, right? Like she does remember that. It's just like, the hell. It was just odd. Like it was just very odd. I really hope it was something that she was just botching. But then, like, she kept saying it to the point where no, I don't think she was botching. So I was like, yeah, she just like really disregarded Finn's reign. And I'm just like, yeah, if I'm Finn, I'd be pretty pissed. Like, I'd be pretty pissed. Like, okay, like, really? I hope we see Seth, John. Oh, hold on, Travis. American Alpha reminds me of the Steiner brothers. Hey, just look at their singlets, their Steiner-esque material. The no pattern on one side, and the other side has pattern to it, like some type of design. John, I hope we see Seth face turn because Raw needs a top favorite Finner. Yeah, now with Finn hurt, WWE, especially on the Raw side, is definitely going to have to adapt to this, and adjust and improvise, and and I think Seth, maybe have him go see if he can run as a face, and not just because the fans could cheer him, because at the same time Seth has shown making that he can make fans the fans that cheer him or so, get a boo out of him. You can still get a boo out of them. So, but now that you planted a seed for his face turn, now give him, some moments that show us that he's turned face. He's not just a heel that's just upset of being betrayed. Because he can still be a heel, but just be upset at Triple H for being betrayed. But it's nothing, everything, but everything else still comes across as same old heel Seth Rollins. John, it would be fun how his wife reacts. She looked none too happy. Wait. Oh, yeah, you're talking about Triple H. Yeah. After Triple H won, I believe you're talking about Triple H. Yeah, when Triple H won, he snatched the belt from Foley. And then when he left the ring again, he was all in Foley's face, I did it. Yes. And then he just, for like 5 seconds, like close to 5 seconds, just looked at Stephanie and then walked back through the crowd. And you can tell from Stephanie's reaction that, that she looked hurt by the decision, that he screwed Seth. I don't know, it was more that he screwed Seth. Cause it seemed though Mick was pissed regardless. So I'm taking it as, since they were all talking about how, we need to, maintain the integrity, for this match. Make sure there's no outside parties, no interference. And Triple H basically, pushed the kibosh on that because the match still ended controversial, even though there was no disqualification, but still, it's still controversial that there was interference. So I want to take it as Mick being frustrated with the fact that, Triple H screwed everything up. They screwed up the whole integrity thing. And I want to believe Stephanie was upset that too, but also upset that, that Triple H basically dropped Seth Rollins like he did. Especially at the fact before the match, Rollins hugged Stephanie. John, I'm sorry, Russo. Vince McMahon made Stone Cold. Get it. Get out of here with that, Russo. In all honesty, I would like to say that Stone Cold made Stone Cold, or I like to say that Paul Heyman is one that set the platform for the Stone Cold character in ECW when he let Austin run his mouth. And reason why I say Stone Cold made Stone Cold because it was him that came up with the name Stone Cold Steve Austin. And it was him that came up with Austin 316 with the unintentional help of Jake the Snake by quoting John 3:16. Once again, there's a good chance that if Jake the Snake never cuts that biblical promo, that religious promo about Austin at King of the Ring, probably never got Austin 3:16. Probably would never got it. Oh yeah, but I'll say about how Austin, came with the name because, they were gonna call him like the 3 names he said they factored on that he'll never forget: Ice Dagger, Otto Von Ruthless, and Fang McFrost. And as Austin said in his DVD, it gets no more suck ass than that. John Braun needs to change that finisher. I like the reverse choke slam. My problem is, and this is the reason why I will say that in a way maybe he needs to, because I think I said it earlier. I said it before in the corner. Odds are his opponents are going to get pretty heavier. I'm not saying they're going to get as big as him, but they're going to get pretty heavier. So if he's not able to deliver the reverse choke slam with that much impact as he would on, that Franklin looking dude, then it's going to be like, that's not that impactful. It's like be like the Wasteland, which I never bought as a finisher. Even with the yelling. So yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see you know, how does this carry on? How does this carry forward? You know, with things with, you know, Kevin Owens or with Triple H or Roman Reigns or Rollins. Heck, even Jericho, since Jericho and Owens, you know, Jericho makes you wonder, like, okay, is this gonna cause like a rift? You know, is Jericho gonna be almost like the star scream to Kevin Owens, you know, where in the background he's gonna be trying to get a chance to take the belt away from Kevin Owens, but then, you know, up front act like, yeah, you know, I always have your back. John, please tell me that Kane segment was a joke. I don't know what the hell that segment with Kane was. I don't know if that guy is going to continue to do that, you know, continue to do that on every SmackDown. This guy came out of nowhere with this strong freaking Texan accent. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know what that was. Never is, Danny. Yeah, it was a joke, John. Yeah, it was just, I believe it was just to kill some time. But as far as that guy, yeah, it was just really odd. Really odd. I guess I can give a little bit of my thoughts on SmackDown since SmackDown ended. It was pretty unique to see that Headbangers again. Man, it had been 16 years. It was pretty interesting to see them. They mostly dominated Heath Slater and then just took one gore. And I don't know how hard Maj hit Rhino for Rhino whole left side to be all bloody as it was. Cause it didn't even look like he hit him that hard. Next thing you know, I'm like, what the hell happened to Rhino's face? His whole like eye part is just running down with blood. So I'm just like, okay. I already touched on how the Miz thing. So it looks like that Miz and Dolph, you know, are going to have a feud. I'm not sure if that puts the whole kibosh on Dolph Ziggler turning heel, you know, after, you know, after failing, but I don't know. Danny, when I look at Becky Lynch, I can't help but think she'd be perfect to play Red Sonja in a new movie. Yeah, she'll be more of a Red Sonja than, you know, Eva Marie. I bring up Eva Marie because since Eva Marie does have the red hair, but the thing is that, yeah, Becky, especially with her attire, yeah, it comes across almost like, at times it comes across Xena-like, you know, like not too long ago, she started down in like long pants and, you know, it was almost like Xena-like. But yeah, I could see Becky playing Red Sonja. I could definitely see her. Or just some type of, you know, warrior. Oh yeah, we also had Becky Lynch and Naomi go up against, you know, Alexa Bliss and Natalya. No, not really a match to write home about. It was pretty standard, and one of the things that come out of it was Carmella coming through the crowd, attacking Nikki Bella, who was out there doing commentary, and it led to Becky being distracted, and while she was through the ropes, Alexa just like snapped her neck on the rope and rolled her up and held the tights for the 1, 2, 3. So one thing I will say that I like about overall, I feel that in terms of integrating the division, SmackDown's been doing a better job than Raw. With the women's division. Because SmackDown has actually been integrating mostly everybody. You actually know who the division is. While with Raw is at one point, the only person really people you knew on the roster, I mean, that division was Sasha, Charlotte, and Nia. And if you want to count Dana, that was it because Paige was suspended. So, but SmackDown immediately, you know, showed you who the okay when they, like I said, the first time they did it, it came across kind of like, you know, contrived. Like everybody's coming out to say their piece on something in one segment. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, I was like, here's the division. But lately they've been like integrating, you know, everybody. Heck, you already can say that, okay, if Nikki does not go on to win the belt at Backlash, she has something waiting for her, and that's a feud with Carmella, a match with Carmella. Because if they don't do the match next week, which will be the go home SmackDown before Backlash, you know, you can okay, you can probably have Carmella once again try to get involved and cost Nikki, you know, a chance of winning. And okay, then you have Carmella and Nikki in a full-fledged feud. John, first Danny Nip, first Danny. I want to see Becky as Xena now. John, Ric Flair ate his words at SummerSlam when it comes to Finn. Yeah, you know, Ric Flair when Finn became no one contender, or not really no one contender, but won the beat Roman Reigns to go up against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Yeah, Ric Flair, you know, had a comment about that, and while he said that, made this put on record, he made sure to say that he likes Finn, but he just could not see Finn, you know, like a guy in the main event WrestleMania because he was a cruiserweight. And it was so funny when, you know, he brought up, you know, not like Seth Rollins. I'm thinking, yeah, I know Seth Rollins, like he's gotten bigger, but I've got to check Seth's weight because last time I checked before he came back, or when he was during the Shield, Seth was not a heavyweight. If he was a light heavyweight. He was close to being a cruiserweight, I believe. But now he looks kind of bigger. Like he just added more weight. But immediately, one person I thought about when Ric Flair said that, don't think there's ever been, you know, he said, I could be wrong, but don't think there'll ever be a time where a cruiserweight will main event WrestleMania be like in the main event match or so. I'm thinking, well, your good friend Shawn Michaels sure did that very well. Shawn wasn't no pure heavyweight. I think Shawn was like 228 at one point. That's being close to a cruiserweight. Rey Mysterio, you know, Rey Mysterio wasn't in the main event match, but he was in one of the premier matches of WrestleMania. So it's like, yeah. Oh, Brian was in the main event of WrestleMania. Not only was he in the main event, he beat Triple H to get to the main event. It's just like, so when I think of Ric Flair's words, I mostly think of that with the whole thing about Finn not main, you know, he doesn't see Cruiserweight main event WrestleMania. It's like immediately he was wrong right from there. Right from the get-go, he was wrong. You know, he said I could be wrong, but he was wrong right from the get-go. It was like Shawn's done it. I believe Shawn's a cruiserweight. He never was a full heavyweight. Ray had been a premier, almost like a main event match at Mania. And Brian was definitely in the main event of WrestleMania. So it's like Ric Flair was already wrong. I saw that the Hype Brothers and Vol Villains had the match. I only caught the end of it. The Hype Brothers, of course, won the match. I was not expecting the Vol Villains to win. Then, you know, Apollo Crews had a match against AJ, which stemmed off of a backstage segment between them. And Paul mostly controlled most of all the match, and then not Seth. AJ just countered one, you know, hot shot and hit the phenomenal forearm and got the 1, 2, 3. John, I think Neville should be the first cruiserweight champ. So that you know that's a good statement because it kind of leads to back when Finn came. When Finn was coming into Raw, there were some people that thought that maybe he should have been. They not really should have. But people thought that was Finn going to be in the cruiserweight division? But most people respond, well, he's never been treated like a cruiserweight. He's been treated like a top guy. Like he's in the main event picture. So why should he be in the cruiserweight? You know, some people saw that maybe they would have him be in the cruiserweight. Like, you know, to be that top actor for the cruiserweight. But it was true. It's like, well, he's never been treated like a cruiserweight. Like, yeah, he's limited to the cruiserweight division. Like, he's limited to being a cruiserweight. No, he wasn't. And NXT, you know, okay, of course, NXT doesn't have a cruiserweight division, but he was the NXT World Champion. You know, he was already an NXT World Champion, just like that. Kind of bring down to Neville. Neville was an NXT World Champion. Should he kind of be treated limited to cruiserweight? You know, in my opinion, I think Neville should be the United States champion. I always said before his year end, I would hope for him to become a mid-card champion. If there's, see, but now, since it's Raw, it couldn't be the case. See, if Tyler Breeze on Raw, then I could definitely saw Tyler Breeze being in the cruiserweight division. But you never know. Maybe they will put Neville in the cruiserweight division. But I don't want Neville to be limited to the cruiserweight division. I feel Neville has all the potential in the world to, you know, be a good mid-card champion. Heck, if the time calls for it, probably, you know, be in the main event picture. That'd be like an upper mid-card who, you know, alternates from, you know, being the main event picture when the time calls for it. Hopefully that is the case for Neville. I'm a big fan of Neville. Big fan of Neville. You know, and it's funny that Chris Jericho brought up, you know, him being like Mighty Mouse, which the word was that was originally going to be his gimmick. When he came in the main roster, like Vince McMahon wanted him to be like in some Mighty Mouse like gear, which I definitely believe would have killed off any credibility of Neville that Neville brought to himself immediately. Let's see here. Okay. Trying to think of some. I'm still thinking about some moves that once again kind of look contrived because of, you know, the like sequence. Yeah. So, John, do you think NXT should make a new championship? I would like to see it. So basically, you're saying should NXT make a secondary belt? Should they make a secondary belt? I would say that if they did it, it don't seem like it would phase them. They've been doing pretty well just with the NXT Championship, the NXT Tag Team Championship, and the Women's Belt. There's a part of me that feels with the NXT Championship being by itself, it kind of makes how can I put it up? It kind of makes the NXT Championship look very important. That there's only one belt for you to obtain, for you could obtain like really success if you're not a tag team wrestler. You know, but I don't think that's like it would hurt if NXT had a, you know, secondary belt. I'm not saying it would hurt, but I think it's a case of if they don't, it doesn't phase them. If they do, you know, it doesn't. Not, they're like, okay, now they got a second belt. Okay, and it brings me. It kind of reminds me of independent promotion that I'm a big fan of, independent women's promotion, Shimmer. You know, you've heard plenty of times that promotion be brought up on the corner. Shimmer started in 2005, and they finally got a world. They finally brought their world belt in 2007, I believe. I believe in 2007. Let me make sure. Yeah, 2007 was when they established the Shimmer Championship, and then a year later they brought in the tag team championship. But it was not until I believe this year. I believe it was not until this year of Shimmer that they brought in a secondary belt, because in the Shimmer messaging board, there had always been a lot of forums. Should Shimmer have, a secondary belt? Is it needed? But the thing with Shimmer was, a lot of people thought it was needed because when these Shimmer tapings would come, these Shimmer events, you have, it will be filled with a lot of matches because they will get a lot of women, from Japan or from Canada or from Australia. There'll be all these women on this one on these cards. So I felt that maybe there should be like a secondary title. Since the talent pool in Shimmer will still will be so packed. Before I'm talking about now, before they added this, what they now call the Heart of Shimmer Championship. The talent will be so full, but at the same time, it made the competition seem more fierce. That all these women, if they're not a tag team, they're trying. The wins and losses matter more because all these wins is leading to just trying to get to a shot at the Shimmer Championship. But I feel that if NXT, one thing, if they just add one more single belt, that'd be fine. But they add like two more, then be like, you didn't really need to do that. I can see what your point is, John. I think it would help put over more talent. But then again, one can say, but talent has gotten over pretty fine in NXT. Without the NXT Championship, Tyler Breeze got over. Without the NXT, without a belt, Hideo has gotten over. But then again, Hideo was already coming in with steam. He just had to get over with, a new crowd. So, but maybe no. I don't think it would hurt. I don't think it would hurt. So, just making sure, see if there's any more comments. If not, then I think it would be a good time to, wrap up, this show. I'll just wait to see if John or, Danny, or if Travis is still there, or heck, even Victor, if you guys have one more comment. Well, I'm still thinking back, with whole Stephanie thing. I really hope she was just botching with Finn, because I said, if I was Finn, I'd be upset. Like, so I guess I wasn't there at Summer, so I guess I didn't win. I guess I didn't do it. I guess not. I'm trying to think of something else that I wanted to talk about. I don't think so. Okay, so I think that about covers it for the comments. So yeah, I think that about covered. So with that being said, it's time to wrap up this show. Once again, hope you guys really enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts, and I appreciate you. Like always, appreciate you guys' contribution to the show. I really do. Always do. So with that being said, this was the Wrestling Corner, episode 8 of season 6. I'm Hoka93. I'm always in the place to be. And until the next Wrestling Corner, you guys stay easy and peace.